our mighty champions, raise your voices to the anthem. Marching line, a mighty army, Wrexham is the name. See the Reds who fight together, speak their names with pride forever. Marching with a mighty army, Wrexham is the name.
So, we start this episode in 5th position, 14 games of the league left, and we are miles off the pace. Defensively, we're a mess. We're actually more leaky than the Titanic after the iceberg struck, and we needed Jordan Davis to rescue us a point at Aldershot deep into injury time. Fatigue is hitting us hard as we struggle with injuries and suspensions, but for some reason, despite our defensive frailties, the fans love the formation that we play with now, so we're going to stick with that formation, right? Well, actually no. We change the formation and we move it from the 3-2-1-2 counter-attack formation to a 4-2-3-1 press formation, and the aim is to keep the ball more, stop their attacks early on, and just stop us conceding stupid goals. And instantly, we find success, beating Scunthorpe 2-0 at home. We then go on to smash Dorking Wanderers 5-0, and the new formation has definitely worked. Paul Mullin has found the net repeatedly. However, Jordan Davis got the pick of the goals against Dorking thanks to this wonderful free kick. The fans are desperate to see more of McFadzean and want him to start, but instead of that, we give Paul Mullin a new contract. Keeping the Stars happy is my motto when it comes to this side. Because let's face it, without Paul Mullin, we certainly wouldn't be where we are now, and his goals are definitely a career saver for me. Now, up next, we faced Maidenhead United away, and we won 4-2, with Mullin celebrating his new contract with a lovely header from 12 yards out. Ollie Palmer came off the bench late on to make it 4, and it's safe to say that he is becoming a super sub for us. And after beating Dagenham and Redbridge 3-0 in the league, we travelled to Hampton and Richmond for the FA Trophy game, and we made the decision to rest our first team. And it certainly raised my blood pressure as we did our best to lose the game. We went behind 2-0 very early on, and it's a wonderful free kick from Whittingham. But goals from Garcia, Palmer and Ling before half-time put us into a 3-2 lead. However, the second half followed a very similar pattern to the first. The hosts scored 2 quick goals and took a 4-3 lead early in the second half, before we left it late to score 3 goals in the last 10 minutes and run out 6-4 winners. I'm sure it's a game that the neutrals loved, however it is a game that aged me about 10 years. With just 8 games to go, we were 7 points behind Chesterfield at the top. Even with a game in hand, you could sense the nerves coming from Derbyshire. Could they really let it slip? Now, in a rather surprising twist at this stage of the season, Wrexham offered me a new 12-month contract. Now, even though I tried to get it up to 2 years and they declined, I still accepted it as I am enjoying what we're building here. And with 6 games left in the season, they were still 8 points ahead of us. But with 18 points to play for, I couldn't see Chesterfield slipping up. But that didn't stop our push to put the pressure on them. A 3-0 win at home to Oldham, thanks to hat-trick by super sub Ollie Palmer, who came on just after the hour, kept our title charge rolling in the right direction. Ollie Palmer has definitely been a massive hit with the fans since he joined Wrexham, and it's only right that we took the steps in order to keep him here by offering him a new contract that matches what Paul Mullin has been offered. Our next league game, we travelled to Halifax and came away with another 3 points. We smashed the home side 6-2 with goals from De Silva, Mullin, Lee and Sinclair, and our fans were sent home very happy. There are certain murmurs from the stand that the title could in fact be heading to North Wales. And after the start to the season we had, what a title win that would be. Now, with just 4 games to go in the league, we had closed the gap to 3 points. After our start to the season, it is fair to say that is fantastic. We also tried to sign Rick Wallard as our new under-18s manager, but he chose to stay with Sutton. Against Eastleigh, we could take a break from the pressures of the league and focus on the Cup, the FA Trophy semi-final. After the first leg had finished 1-1, all was still to play for. But we made sure that our fans left happy with a 5-2 win and booked our train tickets to London for a trip to Wembley. This is our second year running reached the final of this trophy, and we are sure to be bringing it home this time. At least if we don't get the league done, we could win the Cup. A lot of our success was down to Mullin, 41 league goals so far this season, and still time left for more. And in what was probably our biggest remaining challenge this year, we welcomed Notts County to the racecourse ground. But 2 goals from Mullin saw us over the line and kept the pressure on Chesterfield. Three games remained, 2 of them away from home, and the pressure was on. We welcomed Stuart Down into our coaching staff as he took over as the under-18s manager, and we beat Barnet 1-0 away. In our final home game of the season, we were sure to send the fans home happy. We beat Boreham Wood 2-1. The goals come from Elliot Lee and Jerome Sinclair, and our job of piling on the pressure to see if Chesterfield would crack seemed to be working, as crack they did. Although they took an early lead, Bromley grabbed a second half equaliser and then actually went on to win the game. Could the pressure be telling in Derbyshire? Well, 1 game left, 3 points separate the teams, and we travelled to Torquay while Chesterfield were at home to Maidenhead, and Maidenhead had taken a first-minute lead. Could we actually win the title on the last day? Could we actually win the title on goal difference? Well, goals from Agyapong Lee and a Paul Mullin hat-trick made easy work of Torquay, and then for us, it was a waiting game. The fans who had travelled from North Wales had begun to believe, and as the seconds and minutes ticked by, they started to believe more and more that the moment would finally happen. We would finally get to see the Wrexham side lift the Vanarama National League trophy. The second half for us did seem to last for an absolute eternity, and it seemed as though Chesterfield were destined to score. And despite some late pressure from Torquay, who got a goal courtesy of a Downing mistake, it wasn't to be, as Wrexham picked up the National League trophy and celebrated what is quite possibly a historic title win. To come from where they were at Christmas to win the league is quite honestly phenomenal. But our season wasn't finished. We still had the cup final to play. We travelled down to Wembley thinking how good would it feel by doing the league and cup double. Well, early on we took the lead through Paul Mullin's penalty, and it seemed as though Yeovil actually struggled with the occasion as we ran out comfortable 4-1 winners to claim a memorable league and cup double in my first season in the job. We have made some big signings this year, that is quite honest, and it's there for everybody to see. However, after a start to the season which was quite truly appalling, to cap it off with 2 trophies is something I am very happy with. Big changes could be coming in the summer as we have a massive job in store. Some players will now not be good enough for League 2, and some players will be looking to move on. There has already been discussions held with certain players about leaving the club, and some have actually already been transfer listed. What is certain though is we have to decide whether we strengthen the youth or we actually look to strengthen the first team. I already think our first team is good enough to win League 2. Whether it's good enough to win League 1 is a different matter. I think we need to bring some youth in for that season, but we're going to wait and see. Whatever happens here, I really hope you've enjoyed the episode. I will catch you in the next one where we start the second season with a big pre-season up for grabs. Catch you all soon.